3, 2, 1, showtime!
Ciao, hello, and welcome to Double Feature Movie Club. This is our 58th, I want to say, is that right? Episode of the show. And this week we are talking about two films that were released in 1986. Same weekend, we have Heartburn, starring... it stars Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson, directed by Mike Nichols, screenplay by Nora Ephron, and then also the action film Maximum Overdrive, written and directed by Stephen King. I should have wrote some notes for this. Playing it fast and loose today. And starring Emilio Estevez. Both of them were released the same weekend, 40 years ago this week. And I'm joined, as always, with my trusty sidekick, Diane. Diane, how you doing?
I'm great, Cade.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to ask you, I know we haven't seen each other, a couple of days here, but
Yeah.
I did see on the Insta that you had a premiere Sunday night.
Yes, literally 2 evenings ago, we premiered, Trouble Start premiered a new short film that we worked on, titled Hey Pumpkin, at the Circle Cinema Film Festival. It was the world premiere of it. It went well. It was very well attended and sold out screening. We were in a block with other shorts and everything, and it was really cool, meeting the other filmmakers and seeing the reception of it. I had a fun time.
Did they have a Q&A?
They did. They had a Q&A afterwards.
Wow.
I participated in a Q&A. People seem to really enjoy it. A lot of questions about the themes of it. It has a angle to it.
Yes.
Because
if it's yours, it does.
Yeah. This is, a lot more of our foray into a little bit slightly more dramatic work. It has comedic elements, and those got laughs and everything. But yeah, I think this one was the one that really kind of a lot of people had questions about and was interested in the process of it. But yeah,
the good news is the audience responded.
Yes, yeah,
in the right places at the right times in the right way.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh no, that wasn't supposed to be funny or whatever. You worry about like. That if people are going to, since it does have dramatic elements, like if people are going to feel comfortable about laughing in the comedic parts, or they're just going to be like, but yeah, it was very well received in that regard.
When will it be available on the Trouble Start YouTube site?
It probably won't be until November is what we're looking at for that one. It will have a little brief, hopefully other like festivals will show it, and we'll do that, and then that'll be around the time it's because it takes place. This isn't too much of a spoiler. It's called Hey Pumpkin. It takes place during
I started saying in the fall.
Yeah, in the fall. It's a fall movie.
Pumpkins aren't available although when I was at the dollar store today, because the big city I live in, that's where you shop.
Yeah.
They had Halloween stuff out. So
oh wow. Well, I guess that is the next major holiday. As far as like what you would decorate for.
It used to be back to school was a big thing, but evidently that's not a big thing anymore. Nobody can afford the stuff, so they skip straight to Halloween.
Halloween, yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, the film itself takes place, and I didn't really get to talk too much about that. I think it's kind of when you see it, it's not. It's pretty explicit, so it's not like now what does that mean? But it takes place in a very specific time frame, which was one of the things I was very interested in, which was which I don't really see explored too much, but it could literally only take place like during like 2 weeks of the year, which is
Right.
right like at the tail end of fall, right before Thanksgiving. But while there's Christmas things and fall things around, there's like Christmas lights, and it's like this transitional part of the year where, like, I don't know, people are wanting, like, okay, we have to give Thanksgiving its due, but like we're also wanting to do Christmas, and so it's like fall's
Yeah.
nearly over, and they're wanting to do the Christmas thing, but so it's like it's at the like remnants of the tail end of what is, this pumpkin spice season, whatever you want to say, and
Yeah.
so
I
it's
thought maybe you were inspired by the fact that the last 2 years I've had Christmas lights on my house and turned on during Halloween.
yeah. I mean, that's one of those things that you get a lot of like people comment about, of like, when does Christmas, when does that start? And then
When does
people
it start? Yeah.
like people are saying, like, you have to reserve like November for fall related activities, but like you have Halloween for that. But I guess it's like non-spooky fall related activities for November. But then there's other people that's like, no, Christmas starts after Halloween. Like, once Halloween, the next day the Christmas season starts, or holiday season, and you only have like the break for that 1 week of for Thanksgiving. Like, that's Thanksgiving, but before and after that's Christmas. Now, that's some people's
Well,
perspective.
and truly, all Thanksgiving is a big meal, a food that
Yes.
you you don't eat the rest of the year,
Yeah.
with a lot of grandma's recipes, and then football.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good
That's it.
holiday. I mean, not historically speaking, but but what we've turned it into is just a food. What I'm saying is food is good.
Food is good. The grocery industry needs the funds, right? So,
I mean, I love and this is, this is, we're in the middle of summer. We're talking about this, but I
it's
love
just for record purposes, right?
Yeah.
The heat index today was 118 here, so we're enjoying this conversation about Thanksgiving.
Exactly. Knowing that
It could snow on Thanksgiving. It'd be okay.
One of the questions was at the panel was like, what's like one of the biggest obstacles you had to like overtake? And like, here we are in the middle of the record highs, and we're not, well, it's the hottest days of the season. It's not record highs here. We've certainly had hotter, but this year, I guess, so far. And I was like, well, we were shooting this like midnight in mid-November, and so it was freezing. It was below freezing, and like that was what we had to deal with, which is kind of just Oklahoma weather, what you have to deal with of these extremes, because it was hard to shoot that, especially.
I wondered if you, since you released it now, I was wondering if you did any on location shoots, because I haven't seen this. Just for our viewers and listeners, I have not seen it because it just premiered Sunday night, and I was not at the premiere, and for various reasons. One, not being invited, but the other,
you were invited.
Anyway, I was invited. I'm sorry, I shouldn't. He dropped that hint several times for me to go. Anyway, is if you had like billboards, or if you had location shots that you had to kind of try to align with the time frame, but it sounds like you actually filmed during the time frame. So.
Yeah, we shot it during the week that it would like technically take place in. That was what was one of the fun things about it, is like it was written beforehand, and then we were like, well, partially, and then we were like finishing it up right before it started. And I was, but the royal we, and so this is the actual we were preparing production during that time and doing all of that, and it just so happened, that thank goodness it was like we had to like do it now or never, just because from that point on it was going to be Christmas themed, and like and so like it was able to take place. So in the background shots, there's all sorts of, we purposely shot around where like there's the holiday lights, and there's things. I can't say there's visuals.
I understand.
But,
I love movies that are set in a season,
to
take advantage of a season, and I don't know, let you reflect on those seasons, because they're in our lives. It's a shared experience that we all have. And so when you watch a movie that is set in a season, it will stay with you longer. That's how I look at it. Now, here's the downside. When you have a movie that you watch that's set in a season, but it's not really that season when they filmed it.
Yeah.
But they forced it to be in that season, so snowflakes don't melt when they hit their hair.
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, what they say
When
about
the
most of these
actors are wearing,
Hallmark movies.
they are.
Yeah.
Well, they filmed one in my little town,
Mm-hmm.
a Hallmark. Well, it wasn't Hallmark; it was that other whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway,
GAC or whatever.
and they turned the main street in Claremore, which is a beautiful little main street,
Mm-hmm.
perfect for this kind of movie. But it was July,
Yeah.
and they had to make it look like, and it was to me
Bringing a lot of
it
fake
just
snow and frosting the windows. Yeah.
and you know you can tell when you
Mhm.
watch the movies, you can tell that it's all fake,
Yeah.
and it takes away from the movie. But if you can catch one that's truly filmed during that time frame, it's so much nicer, so cool.
Well, I think of
So
ones
cool.
that we watched on this podcast I think of Black Coat's Daughter, that just feels very cold, and you can feel that. I think of Certain Women, like the Lily Gladstone sequence of like, it feels very of its time and cold and everything like that. So like I love it when you can feel that stuff on screen and everything.
Yeah.
I think you can sort of see and feel cold holdovers.
Right.
Then I don't know, like I guess some summer you can sort of get it. It's the kind of springs and the falls that are a little bit like
When they're outside and having a conversation and there's no fogging in the air,
Yeah.
yet they've got on down jackets, it's not real.
Yeah.
And it throws you out of the movie, so I kind of love that movies. I love movies that are set around Christmas time in New York, because that's the most magical time to be there.
Yeah.
And just because, and every, you can see it in the people around you even. You have the weather's colder, you get snow, people are, it's just a different vibe in that city the whole month of December.
And it's just sort of like you said, like an unsaid thing. It's a feeling. It's like, you
Yeah.
couldn't write it. You have to feel it and see it. It's like, a lot of that's just the vibe.
That's the vibe. And so I'm excited to see this new product from Trouble Start. When do you think you
said November will be likely when, follow our pages. We'll have maybe some other screenings of it before then. But yeah, the idea is to kind of release it whenever it would be around that time too. So November would be when it would go out online and everything. But yeah, we have a bunch of other sketches coming up that pretty soon. Hopefully by the time this little abbreviated season's over, I can give you the exact date of whenever our new sketches are coming out and all that. But yeah, because we're already, this is episode 3 of our 5-episode mini season. So
mini season,
yeah.
And who knows, we might do another mini. You never know what we'll do.
You never know.
Cade wakes up every day with a new idea. Mr. Creative here. And the main thing is you've got to follow the Trouble Start YouTube page, Instagram.
Yes. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. It's all over at Trouble Start.
It's at Trouble Start. So yeah, because that way you'll know what's going on, because they do drop stuff from time to time that you're really going to hate it if you miss it.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Diane. That was a good plug.
Well, the one that you guys went down to Oklahoma City for the festival.
Yeah, Aaron
that was
30.
the horror / comedy. I love that. I just thought that was a psychological thriller to me.
Yeah, it performed better than all of our other ones that we've had. So it's people have connected with it and everything. So that was a fun one. It was really interesting. I think we talked about that earlier in the season.
We did.
Yeah,
we did.
But yeah, you can check that out.
But it's out there now.
Before we got into the reviews, I did want to say that I, over the weekend, saw Oppenheimer in 70 millimeter. Or not Oppenheimer. I saw the Odyssey. I also saw Oppenheimer when it came out.
I was with you when you saw
ago.
Oppenheimer. Yeah. I don't recall being invited to see the Odyssey with you. I've not seen it yet, so...
We saw Oppenheimer separately too. We saw Barbie together, but Oppenheimer we saw separately because I also saw it in.
I thought we saw both in the same day. Oh no, you're right. You went to Oklahoma City
once again
for the 70 millimeter.
Yeah,
again,
I love it's the best. It is probably, I don't know. I don't want to speak in hyperbole. I know there's a lot of different theaters, but the one that it brings in the most unique stuff and interesting is, because I guess it's their flagship thing, is the AMC Quail Springs in Oklahoma City has these formats and things either way before anywhere else, or just these interesting, like this is the only place you can see the Odyssey on 70 millimeter film in the state. Circle has it on 35. So those are the only two places you can see it on film, in general. And so that's what's great about Circle is they're an independent thing, independent theater. But yeah, AMC has some of these other like screenings and things that are unique. And so yeah, when given the chance, because I loved Oppenheimer in that format, I was like, I gotta go see the Odyssey in that, and it was amazing. The Odyssey is just an extraordinary film. I was telling Diane before, this is currently my number one of the year. We'll see if it ends up that way at the end, but it's just extraordinary filmmaking. It's 3 hours that doesn't feel like 3 hours. It breezed by, and in the way that there were a few things I was kind of shocked by in the film. I think the two things that stood out to me as the most shocking things was the horror elements into it, and like Christopher Nolan nailing the horror elements. I've never quite seen him ever do that before, except maybe some instances of The Dark Knight, which I know you haven't seen, but but that's
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, but that's the only, and like I can't recall any other. Maybe kind of The Prestige. They're kind of at the, but not so prolonged as this. These are these prolonged sequences of horror, like the Cyclops scene is this prolonged sequence, and the Cersei scene. The people who've seen it know, like there's these really like grotesque horror elements that I'm like, oh, that's fascinating. And he even said like, there's a good chance that maybe his next project or something that he doesn't feel like he's done yet to his fullest is doing like a straight horror film. And I'm like, that would be extraordinary to see from him, especially after seeing this. So that was very shocking. I mean, because there's a lot of things like you kind of know what you're getting into with a Christopher Nolan movie of like, it's non-linear. It goes back and forth, and it's very much it's loud. It's very loud. It's a loud movie.
Yeah.
And that's one of
I can see why it would be.
Yeah. And so it's and there's moments of that, and and it does the whole thing where I think you either like it or you don't. I love it. It's almost like montagey, sort of like you get a line from a character and then it like cuts back and forth, and like in the way that like I think Oppenheimer does that just to his, I think the best he's ever done it. And like they're almost like tome poems in a lot of ways. Like it's the way that it kind of goes back and forth, and I think he uses that to an interesting degree on this one too. So like that stuff wasn't necessarily as shocking or different than what you would expect. But what he does with the material, and like the points that he's making, was interesting and shocking. I didn't really expect him to kind of make a point with it that wasn't necessarily part of the original text. Like this is an adaptation, and he is using this as a piece to make larger societal points. And I thought that was the thing that sort of floored me about the movie, that he did that, and he did it so expertly and interestingly. Because there's twists, I think, sort of toward the end of like just reframing how these mythologies that we know. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant piece of work.
So, do you remember studying Greek mythology in school?
Yeah, we studied Greek mythology. We read the Odyssey in college. So.
Yeah, but in high school, wasn't there somewhere in there that we did some Greek mythology? You had to learn the Roman gods and the Greek gods and all that stuff. And I know the Odyssey was touched on. So can you see this film being shown over a week in some history teacher's class?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think it's R-rated, so it's like one of those ones that's like, I don't know, like could you? But like Romeo and Juliet was R-rated, so, and we watched portions of that in high school, so. And I think
and Ryan Walters, had the whole deal in his history class on Game of Thrones. So,
whatever what was a Jackie Chan movie he watched or whatever that was, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think you would have to be like an edited version of, like, I mean, I think it's really only, I'm surprised it was R-rated, in all honesty. I think it could have been toned down to a PG-13, and it wouldn't have, like, lost all that much. Like, it's really just those, the Cyclops scene, I think, is the only reason that this would be considered an R rating that I can see. And it's like, and it's just a few shots of that sort of thing. But yeah, I think this is a great telling of it. Now, given the mythology portion of this is probably some of the things that he's received criticism for, because it doesn't have as much. I don't want to go into too much spoilers. I'll be a little bit vague with it.
Doesn't go into depth on all these interesting characters he's got in the film about the 360 version of who they are, like Cersei's and that.
So it doesn't deal, like, you don't see like how you would in the Odyssey a lot of these characters, like the gods in particular. You have like their children and different things like that, but it's not like they're not as much a part of it as like that stuff. They're a lot more like, I think, gods in our God or whatever in our time of like how they would, I think, like he tried to take somewhat of a realistic approach, even though there is these fantastical elements, but like the gods aren't really like, they're part of the world. They are the things that people, believe in and pray to and reference, but they're not like showing up in physical form,
which would turn it into something else, a different kind of movie if they did.
Well, I think like he made a lot of decisions and changes that was like, which I think, a little bit criticism, like he's done that a lot. He has a thing of like he has a real issue with like fantastical elements. I think you could say like his Batman was like very grounded, which great interpretation of Batman, but different than what is in the comics. And it's sad that that's continued. Like everyone wants Batman to be non-fantastical, and it's like, well, no, that's a take on him.
One of my comics.
Yeah.
Well, and Oppenheimer, so many people consider him such a hero, but he was a conflicted guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't this just one-dimensional character that we've all learned about in school. So I think that good for him to do that, to make these people real.
Well, and I think like you get that with, I think the Odysseus character in this is very fascinating, and it's different than kind of what you see in other things. I think there's a lot to be said about, I don't know, a lot of these other Odysseus's are very like swashbuckling, and I'm charming, and like, and like kind of a smirk on their face or whatever, and let me get through it.
Not realistic at all.
Yeah. And this one is like so like weighed down by his actions, and that's to me a lot more of an interest. And like it's almost he's very similar to Oppenheimer. Again, without getting into spoilers, they make them very very similar. Even like by the end, you get to the arc of the whole thing, and he's very much someone who's weighed down by his actions, and that's, I think, a very interesting perspective. And I do think, and I was telling Diane before the thing, that to me though, Anne Hathaway is the standout performance of the thing. I met Damon as well, but I think this is about Damon's best performance I've seen. And I don't think it's Anne Hathaway's best performance, but I do think that she's the best part of this. I think Anne Hathaway's one of the great actresses, and I'm glad to see her in this.
I think someone referenced it, that she's really the heart of the movie in the sense that, but at the same time, she's playing a character that convinces these men for 20 years, right, that he's coming back. Don't mess with me. So we love strong women.
Yes, I love that. And then like Robert Pattinson's such a fun little weaselly guy in this, and like so there's
in the trailers he really comes across as a weaselly guy.
Yeah. It's just a real fun one, like just with the ensemble and everything. I highly recommend. I think a lot of people go rushing out to see it. Go out, rush and see it. I think it's really good, and you want to see it for just the sound alone in the theater. I mean, just the technical achievement of it all on this, like, you know, giant format film. It's an extraordinary piece of cinema. There is some interesting things in it that, like, there's some rack focus shots in this that are rough, and that's, and I think there's only like 2 that I would be like, ugh, that I was kind of shocked made it all the, I mean, like, but I guess because of just the format, there's this one shot that's racking focus between, in the foreground is Robert Pattinson, and then in the background's another suitor, and it's like racking focus between them, and it never quite hits the guy in the back, and he's, and it's like that made it all the, I mean, like, I don't know. It must not have been another take. And then I don't know, just because it's all practical and it's all like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just surprised that made it all the way through. But I mean, it had to be noticed. It's not like, well, they didn't notice. It's had to be a decision that's like, to get them back, or to try to do something like CGI manipulation of, like, I don't know, bringing that character in. Like, other films would have fixed that. But I think because of it all, wanting it all to be in camera and other things, they probably decided not to. But I've seen a few people kind of bring up that. But it's like, I mean, at least you know it's all there. Like, this was all made, and so it has those imperfections.
It's all practical.
Yeah,
I did see an interview with Matt Damon and Christopher Nolan, and they were asking about the ship scenes. And you know, was that, you know, green screen, or were they really on this ship in these waves, and how did you keep from getting sick, and yada yada yada, and Christopher Nolan laughed, and Matt Damon said, "It's Christopher Nolan. Of course we were on this boat, and yes, we threw up, and he filmed it." It's like this is how he does things. We knew what we were signing up for. And then I saw another interview with Tom Holland that he was caught off guard because they would be in a scene, and after 3 minutes, Christopher Nolan would cut.
Yeah.
And he thought, well, I'm just not doing this well. I'm not doing this right. I've got to try harder. I'm missing the point, whatever. Yeah. And then he found out later that in IMAX, you can only film 3 minutes at a time.
Because of the reels.
So yeah. He was like, then I forgave myself a little bit. And then Christopher Nolan did say that they were asking him about the different actors and, you know, how well they did on set and everything. And he did say that Zendaya, say her name, that she was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. She's
so
really good.
I don't know.
She's barely in the movie, but she's really good in it. Yeah. I think they all stood out. I think Travis Scott's a little rough in the movie, but that's about the only. I thought everyone else was really good in the.
So even if you're not a fan of Matt Damon, it's worth going to see.
I think it's worth going to see, and I think it's just a really interesting interpretation. I mean, it's an interpretation of the work, and I think what he says is very fascinating, and you could really dive deep into what he's saying in it. Like, there's a lot that could be said about what the point is that he's saying, and it's intriguing, and it's about humanity. It's about, I mean, it's just brilliant filmmaking on a level that we're really not seeing. No one else is doing that. And no one else probably is allowed to do that either.
Christopher Nolan's probably the only one who can get the money to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, right.
And that people will show up
if
and
you're
go
not
see.
If you're not part of the Marvel universe, right, you're not going to get that kind of funding.
Yeah.
But people will go and see it. It did amazing at the box office over the weekend.
And I think it's unfair to kind of, I mean, not to whatever, but the culture war stuff is ridiculous about that surrounded this movie. I mean, it's an extraordinary piece, and I think that's the best thing that people can do is, I don't know, make good movies to make these critics shut up.
I heard someone say today that the people who are complaining about the movie being too woke is maybe it's time to wake up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that they were once again hoping, like in other things, that this would fail or whatever. And it's like, it's a good movie at the
It's
end
not
of
going
the
to
day.
fail. It's not
And
going
it's
to
like,
fail. It's not going to
and
fail.
it hurts your cause to sit there and like, I mean, people are going to go see this movie and they're going to see a good movie. And at the end of the day, that's all that people really want. And I think that in a lot of ways, that was the wind behind their sails when they were complaining about bad movies. People were like, well, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the problem was it was woke. And it's like, no, the problem was that there were bad movies. And now there's a really good movie that maybe doesn't fit your politics, but it's a really good movie. And it's also not really, I mean, without whatever, I mean, it does kind of go into a little bit of like a societal stance that you can maybe attribute some politics to, but I don't know, it's not in like a sense of like right wing versus left wing or whatever. It's a much more broader scope of what he's trying to say of our issues of society and how we got here and everything like that.
Yeah, it's a movie about a family.
Yeah,
I mean, but bottom line, and it doesn't matter if you're left wing or right wing or what you are, everybody puts their family first. And you never give up on your family unless you have some other crazy reason, but you don't give up on your family.
Speaking about giving up on your family, our first film that we're going to watch is Heartburn. I don't know. I feel like we need to.
Yeah, it's like doing the strong woman reference too. Yeah, we kind of went along on that one. So
I don't know. I'm just trying to find any sort of reference to that. So that's the Odyssey. But no, we have two movies we're discussing here today. We went long on that one because I don't know. We're gonna see if we have. I don't have very many notes about either one of these films, but we'll see.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, maybe Diane will.
I wasn't as busy as you were Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, cool. We're gonna talk about two films. We're gonna talk about Heartburn. These are both films, like as I said at the top, were released in the same weekend in 1986. The first film we'll talk about is Heartburn. Diane will give the plot synopsis of that for our feature presentation.
Okay, here we go. Do I need to move? I'm kind of like in a weird spot here. Okay. Heartburn, 1986 movie, is a romantic comedy drama directed by Mike Nichols, starring Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson. You can see in the picture. Based on Nora Ephron's semi-autobiographical, I can't even talk today, her novel about her marriage to journalist Carl Bernstein. This was a big deal in the mid-'80s, let me tell you. Carl, everybody who knows who Carl Bernstein is, right? Yeah. Anyway, the film follows food writer Streep and political columnist Nicholson as they fall in love, marry, and build a life, only for Rachel, who is Meryl Streep's character, to discover Nicholson's infidelity during her second pregnancy, leading to the unraveling of the relationship and the end of their marriage. Now, this movie is known for their strong performances by the leading characters, and in my opinion, is one of Nora's best movies. So, you ready to talk about it, Cade?
Oh, you think it's one of Nora's best movies?
I think so. And here's the thing. Everything is, from my perspective.
Yeah.
1985 was when this was filmed.
Yeah.
Released in 1986. Mm-hmm. This is in the middle of the women's liberation. We finally got the ability to get a credit card, car loan in our name. This is good things that are happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think, and from when you look at it from that premise, right? You can see even in the movie where there are some of these couples who have stayed together after an infidelity. Mm-hmm. But in this case, she did not. And that was something really new at that time. Well, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're right. No.
It's all over. I already said that. Broke up. Anyway, for a woman to leave her husband for any reason at that point was in 1985 was kind of a big deal. It was very for this to be put on film, even though everybody makes a big deal about this being, about the Carl Bernstein Nora relationship, for that to be put on film at that time was kind of a big deal. And after this movie, she did follow up with Sleepless in Seattle. You've Got Mail. I mean, When Harry Met Sally. But this one is more heart wrenching to me because it is her story, and it's a story that wasn't told at that point in 1985.
Yeah,
and I love all that. I love the hairstyles and everything. It's just, I just love that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and I would say, I mean, this didn't get. Neither one of the films that we're talking about today got great reviews. This one, I think.
Okay, so and let's talk about those reviews for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Egbert, right?
Roger Ebert,
the critic, yeah. Roger. Yeah, he called it a bitter, sour movie about a neurotic woman. Well, that's how men felt about women at the time.
It got. I mean, both these films got 2 thumbs down from both Siskel and Ebert. This.
Oh well, yeah. Well, yeah. And somewhat, and when I was reading about this, if you took out all the male critics, this actually was pretty well reviewed. But the male critics hated this movie because it was from a woman's perspective. She did not accept the way she was being treated while she was pregnant with her second baby. Now,
I mean,
there's
I don't know if I was.
There's a lot of holes in the movie too, but from a cultural perspective, it was a big deal at the time, and a lot of male critics hated it because the way that it was from her perspective.
You never got any of his perspective on the matter at all.
No,
it wasn't. How could she? It was an semi-autobiographical account.
Right.
So, I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that Manny Paquin was originally cast in that character, but I think Jack Nicholson was at first I was like, there's not a lot of chemistry between these two people. Yeah. But then that's kind of and part of it is because Jack Nicholson he could never portray a husband and father.
Which I mean, that's just fits the character. Like he's very
it really
dismissive,
does.
and he's very he plays it like you would assume that Jack.
He plays it as if he's playing Jack Nicholson.
Well, he's you would assume that he was going to, he can be charming. I've seen him charming in other things. You can see him be evil in things too. You've seen him play both of them, and you would see this going either way. Like he could take that either way in this script,
right?
But he doesn't. He plays it with this sort of detached sort of like that. I don't know. I have other places I could be, and you can see why people are interested and lean into the guy, but he makes other people do the work around him. I think that's sort of, but of the status that things go around with, which is, pretty similar, I would assume, to Jack, in real life. But also he's also one of the great actors. I was interested. The performances, both of their performances are different than what I would assume, going into what their performances would be, or even how I would assume it was written for them to go. They are different. They've both made some very clear choices that is against their typical instincts that I've seen them as actors. And I think that plays into perhaps what the criticism I would see at the time, or if this is this is so not what you would expect from this group of people. And I think that's
true, because we've got these other movies that came afterwards, right? That were heartfelt and had such a great ending. And this is the movie that takes place after the ending of those other movies.
Yes. Well, you essentially, it runs through that, what was in the first act is essentially what you would get in a romantic comedy sort of. So here's essentially that all condensed in
It opens with a
half hour.
wedding.
Yeah, opens with a wedding. You find they meet each other. Oh, and it's like a whirlwind, and then it's like, and there's little bits that they do together, like, and so it's like it does the whole thing, and then it like, and then immediately, oh, then they're married, and like that's all in the first act. You have
Right.
things going on. Or is that me?
That was, I think it was my watch.
Okay. Well, cool. But yeah, no, but okay, I'll say this. I don't think it deserves the criticism that it has. I think I found it to be a very interesting film. Do I think it's in any of their top 5 works, whether that's Mike Nichols,
Over these two actors?
Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson?
No, obviously not. But at the same time, I mean, Meryl Streep had just done Out of Africa.
I don't think it's in the top 10 of Meryl Streep performances or even movies. And same with Jack.
I don't know. I thought she was really good in the sense that her marriage is falling apart, and she is neurotic and bitter and scattered and doesn't know what to do. And she packs up and she leaves, and she's like, "What is he calling me? What is he doing?" And it was very realistic in that sense of the word.
Well,
right?
And it wasn't scared to be that. Like I think, I don't know if you could necessarily do that today, or because it would. I think the character would be read a certain.
The whole
way.
Movie couldn't be done. Yeah, this movie wouldn't play in today's world. Because
it's changed.
The world has changed.
Yeah.
If this happened to a woman today, she wouldn't have gone back.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have given another chance. And the one thing that's real subtle in this movie is every male character had committed infidelity against their wives or partners. Every single male main character, except Jeff Daniels, because I think he kind of had a crush on Meryl Streep's character, but he wasn't married. But every other one was either taking advantage of a woman or had taken advantage of their marriage in some way, shape, or form. And so that's something you wouldn't see today.
Yeah.
The women wouldn't have stayed. But it's because of this movie that things changed. And I think that, I was looking at it from more of that perspective. And there's a couple of other little things about this movie that I always hate to watch movies from the 80s because I was alive then. When this movie came out, I was 30 years old, the same age as Jeff Daniels. And I had just broken up with a guy who was going to be my second husband for a very similar reason, and fled to Texas to get away from him, start over again. So very telling in the course of that time frame, right? So it had probably more meaning to me. At the same time, you wouldn't do that now. I mean, now it wouldn't be as big a deal, but it was a big deal back then. Let me tell you. The other thing, there was a couple of things that just drove. I mean, it's so funny. She's drinking while she's pregnant. You would never see that today in any film.
Yeah,
she's having champagne while pregnant, and a Bellini while pregnant. Driving without seatbelts. I mean, there's seatbelts in the car, you notice, but they never put one on or took one off. Everybody's smoking anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
They're sitting at a dinner table. It looked like what was a White House, banquet thing.
Yes, it was.
And everybody's smoking.
A bunch of senators and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and people smoking cigars too, which was I had forgotten how openly people smoke cigars. And then pregnancy clothes were still loose, and here's why: Demi Moore didn't do her naked pose on Vanity Fair until 1991. And that's when everything about pregnancy changed as far as how it's depicted.
Yeah. And what people wear. Yeah.
What people wear. She was wearing what was maternity clothes of the time.
Yeah.
Instead of, and it shows how much things have changed.
Yeah.
Over the last 40 years.
Yeah, it was fascinating. I mean, like that was all. Cool. I mean, I think her hair choices was like, I mean, I guess those were of the time and everything, and showing their driver's license.
Hair choice. I had that hairstyle.
I thought that was probably, to me, the standout scene of the thing is when she went to the salon, and like that.
Oh yeah, in the back. Yeah.
where like she's realizing from this other woman's story that this was likely what's happening to her, and like that was her like first epiphany of that sort of thing, and then her like, I gotta get out here, and it's like all like in this kind of like one shot, and like the hairdresser's like, I don't know, hold still. I mean, I don't know. It's like I think this movie has comedic elements mixed in with like this sort of like dry humor that doesn't necessarily gel all the time, but I think in that case was like it just all came together in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
And I thought that worked.
And did you know that the toddler in this movie was Meryl Streep's daughter?
Oh, really? One of the ones who acts now?
Her second. They all act. All three of her girls
Oh,
act.
okay.
This is the middle one. This was the middle one. Did I write down her name? I went and looked to see. No, I didn't write down her name. But yeah, it's her middle daughter.
Yeah, who's also in this movie.
Which is, well, and just to finish that thought on her daughter, she's the daughter who just played John F. Kennedy Jr.'s wife.
Oh,
in that
in the
miniseries.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, all her daughters act, and they're stars in their own right. Son, not so much, but he was probably the baby of the family and didn't ever have to do anything.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like, I mean,
anyway.
Like we mentioned, Jeff Daniels is in this. Love Jeff Daniels. It was a minor role for Jeff Daniels. Catherine O'Hara.
He didn't even have a last name.
Oh yeah,
he didn't even have a last name.
Yeah,
he didn't have a last name in this movie. Wow. Okay, sorry.
No, I was saying Catherine O'Hara's in this movie. I think she's really fun in this. And as another sort of housewife.
Was it Maureen Stapleton?
Yeah, there was a few.
The older lady, and then Channing Stockard was in
Channing.
it.
Yeah, Maureen Stapleton.
Yeah.
Channing. It was the film debut of Kevin Spacey. He plays Subway Thief. So
gay.
We didn't know that at the time, Diane.
No, so gay. So gay.
And it's like, it was a secret, and we didn't find out until later. But yeah, he kept that under wraps.
That big of a secret. I don't think that was a big secret.
But
and Carly Simon does the music for this. She has that. Oh my gosh, Carly Simon.
Today
she got us through a whole generation.
We had great soundtracks at the very least. Like they both like it. I mean, like that's very much of its time.
That's true.
That's
very much of its time. They have cool soundtracks like that.
Yeah, and to bring in named people to kind of like make songs for your film, and so in this case, it's Carly Simon, and it's really good. I love the theme in it. It comes in like, I mean, it's really just she did the theme, and it comes in at several points in the movie. And it's good. It's a really good, like it's like almost, I don't know, rhythm that kind of plays throughout it, and it's a fun, jaunty thing. I
will tell you, I personally, the last act, I was done when she went back to him. I was like,
yes. Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, the only thing I knew about this movie was key lime pie, and
I didn't even know that.
That's the last bit of the thing. I'm like, where's this key lime pie scene? It's like, oh, okay, that's what the whole movie's building to key lime pie.
Yeah.
So if that's the only thing you knew about it, then it is a little bit of like, oh, when's that gonna happen? Yeah, I mean, there's little things like I didn't like whenever she was like watching TV and like the host was like talking to like that was a little too far. Like it removes you out of it. Like it makes it goes to fantastical elements that the film never. That's the only time it really goes to that, and so it happens twice in the movie. And I'm like, I could see how if that's in the novel.
You see that in other movies, though.
Yes.
Where you have this voiceover narration that kind of gives you insight, to what's going on within the character, what they're thinking.
But
it was
Mike
just
Nichols
a kind
is
of a
not
weird.
The director to have like he makes everything so like lived in and real that like something like that doesn't work in like a Mike Nichols directed thing. And I love Mike Nichols, and he's one of my favorite directors. But like, and I can see how something like that could play in. I don't know if it's in the novel, but like in the novel, you could make it like she's upset and she thinks that the TV's speaking to her just in particular, and like how that could like play out from like a first person perspective differently than how it is portrayed in a film, as I'm assuming is how that, but like it doesn't work. And so like, that's something that stuck out to me. I don't know. I mean, it, at times it bordered on melodrama. I mean, but I think that's, part of it. It was,
It's hard. Yeah. That's kind of stuff's kind of hard to judge based on current whatever.
understanding. Yeah.
There were rumors that Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson did not get along in this movie. He was making passes at her, and she was pregnant, in the early stages of pregnancy herself, and he was very flirtatious. And he was with, this is back when he was with Angelina Houston. Angelica, thank you. Yeah. And this is, you can always tell when my brain's 40 years older than yours. But then they turned around and became really good friends. They did what's it called? The movie they did together after this.
Ooh,
the one where they're both drunks. Come on. You know this movie.
I don't know if I know that movie.
I think they both got nominations for it even. Ironwood, is that the name of it? I don't know. But anyway.
I know they did another movie together.
Yeah, they did it. And it was right after this one. So they were able to get over whatever it was. They didn't start off well together.
Ironweed. Yeah, it was right after.
Ironweed, yeah. And but they remained friends. Of course, he's 10 years older than her, but and he's still alive.
Yeah, and they're. I mean, they are the two. I mean, like some of the. I mean, they'll be remembered forever. It's like one of the greatest actors, both of them, that's ever lived. I mean, their body of work is. I mean, just extraordinary. And that's why I was like fascinated by this. Of like, they didn't really lean on what is tradition. Like this is a much. I don't know what the right way to sort of explain. This is not like a tough Meryl role. This is a lot more vulnerable and a lot more willing to crumble sort of role, like than like I've seen, like she typically tends to play. And I think and I've already explained how this is different than what Jack has done in other things, but like that was what was very interesting to see. Is like it's.
Did you not ever see Silkwood?
Well, Silkwood is another one around that time. Yeah, you're right. It's very in Silkwood. I mean, I like Silkwood more. But
Nora Ephron, didn't she direct a lot of the films herself? This is the only one that she wrote and Mike Nichols directed, right? And then. Because didn't Rob Reiner direct Harry Met Sally?
Mm-hmm. Rob Reiner directed Harry Met Sally. Like yeah. And then, but like she did Sleepless in Seattle. This Is My Life she also directed. So she started with This Is My Life from that on. But yeah, but Silkwood, Heartburn, When Harry Met Sally, she just wrote.
Because I wonder how different this movie would have been if a Rob Reiner had directed it, or if she had, because I think, like you said, there were some comedic elements of it, but they were kind of on the back burner compared to the rest of. I don't know. It was uneven in that sense, and.
I mean, he's also one of the funniest people. I mean, like Mike Nichols has up here, so it's like it's weird that it doesn't I don't know why it wouldn't. Work like it does. To me, I think it does work more than people say it does, but it isn't with the level of talent involved in this. I think this is what goes into why people it's judged so harshly. With the level of talent involved in this, it should be extraordinary. Like it just because of the nature of this is one of the great screenwriters. This is one of the great film directors. This is what people have argued is the greatest male and female
Well,
actors living.
but in 1983, he did direct Silkwood, and she wrote it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they had not done this together before.
And
I
then
don't
like
know.
right
Anyway.
after this, he does Working Girl, and it's like Working Girl is a very similar type of like tone to this, and it's like knocks it out of the park. Like, I mean, so it's like it like whenever you do that, whenever you compare it with that in mind, which is unfair, to be clear, it is unfair to sort of compare this to all of their better
Yeah,
works.
because Working Girl is still your romantic comedy where
Yeah.
you end up with the wedding at the end,
Mm-hmm.
or a kiss, and the Hallmark movies all end with a kiss.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's much more difficult to show the real life of what happens after the wedding.
Yeah. But I mean, I just think,
Anyway.
his run after this, like, I mean, he does Working Girl, Postcards from the Edge, Regarding Henry, Wolf, which isn't great. It's also Jack Nicholson. But then The Birdcage, love The Birdcage. Primary Colors, I'm also a big defender of Primary Colors. It's another one that's some people are iffy about, and then later he does Charlie Wilson's War. I mean, he just extraordinary filmmaker.
And he married to Diane, what's her name? Diane, the interviewer.
Oh.
Let me see. I think he is.
Yeah, Diane Sawyer. Yeah.
Diane Sawyer. Yeah. Oh, no, they got divorced. 2014. Who knew? That always surprises me whenever.
Well, he's dead. That's why.
That's it. I didn't read it. I accidentally hit the wrong button and I didn't get far enough down to see why are they not together. Oh, he died.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they were together till.
I didn't know this. He started the famed Second City Improv.
Mm-hmm. Him and Ellen May. Like, it was Nichols and May.
No idea.
Yeah, they were. I mean, people consider them the greatest like comedy duo to ever exist. Is Elaine and May, or not Elaine May, Nichols and May, Elaine May and Mike Nichols, and that was his whole start. But no, I mean, and then he has this whole theater career. Like, Michael Nichols is just extraordinary. Like, he has an EGOT. He's just I love Mike Nichols, and so like, and it's weird to see these sensibilities not translate to this because it's like it's just like it just feels a little off because it's like even so it's like it has things that I think it could have been better with a few less scenes. Like,
Yes.
It's another one of those that's just like I'm like I don't know if this scene really progressed the story forward or whatever. And then the only other criticism I have, which is not necessarily criticism, it just ends up being what which could have been the point, could have been whatever. Like, this is how I feel about like, I'm a lot more, because all the characters are a lot more interested in their careers. I'm a lot more interested in their careers as a watcher of the film. Like, I would love to see, since her career is so important to her, show me some of her career. Since the career is so important to Carl Bernstein and everything. Well,
You just want to see Carl Bernstein in action.
Well,
that's all you get.
I was so fascinated by the fact that, like, that one scene that we have of them going to that, whatever gala banquet thing, and like her having to be the wife of Carl Bernstein. Like, was a lot more fascinating than a lot of other things. But I also would have loved to have seen her career. Like, I don't think we really got that push and pull. Like, we have her saying she wished stuff about her career, but we never see it. And I just, like, even if it's from her perspective, like, if we don't do the Carl Bernstein stuff, I would like to see where she's at a little bit more than, like.
Well, and to me, it was, I took it kind of like, this is a cop out for her to be a food critic, writer, whatever, food writer. Mm-hmm. And she's a great cook. And this is how they depict it.
Yeah.
They depict it as, she's a food critic, but boy, she's a great cook. which is what you want in a wife.
Well, I mean, he very
sure.
clearly tried to, like, that's part of the thing is like him trying to like make her this domestic, like,
Yes.
yeah, you stay here. Like she has this career and it's like, I actually want to just turn you into my personal chef. And so you stay here. I would, if we're married, you make this for me once a week, you know, like things like that. That's,
Which was pretty typical in the mid 80s. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like, here's
Now
this
you know
person who's
now
like,
you know why I'm so bitter. No.
yeah. But it's, I mean, she's so immensely talented, and then he's just thinking about how this can serve him, or like, and how he can like force these roles onto her that she doesn't really want. Yeah. No, it's, I think it's a, like I said, I think there's a lot more there than it's like, you can't dismiss this film. Like I think a lot of people do. I think it's, but it's always in the back of your head that like, this is not the best work of all these people and it should be a little bit better than what it is, but it's still endlessly interesting. Yeah.
It is, because we never see what happens after the wedding. We always in the movie on, they're going to live happily ever after. And that's not the case.
That's not the case. Well,
Not
on
the
that
case
note,
at all.
I only other note
you can
I
see
have.
what really Stephen King nails on what can happen after.
Yeah, now we got to talk about that. I did have the only other note I had in here is I never want to hear Jack Nicholson sing again.
No, and that was way too long. Meryl Streep can sing, but boy, that was way too long.
And
she tried to shut him up by burying his head in her bosom, but it didn't work.
No, that was rough, boys. And that is a scene that just goes on and on.
He committed. I mean, you got to give him credit for that.
He did.
You know, it was kind of like Hugh Grant, who dances in
Love Actually.
Oh, that Christmas, yes. I mean, you can tell this guy's not a dancer. Not
I love
a dancer.
that scene, though. That's one of my all-time
But he
scenes.
committed.
Yeah.
I know, it's one of my favorites too. But he committed to it.
He did.
And he did it, you know. So that's commitment, right?
It is commitment. Commitment to the craft.
Yeah.
But yeah. You know who sings in this next film? AC/DC.
I know. One of their big hits comes out of this movie.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm like, oh, was this? And I'm like, oh, I guess that was all made for this movie. Like, I'm like, okay, so that's what that song was about this whole time.
This whole time, that's what it was about.
It was about trucks. It was about trucks who come to life. This entire time, this huge hit is just it's okay. That was a big shock to me the whole time. I'm like, they're saying it in this movie, and I'm like, the pieces come together in my head. I'm like, oh my god, is that where the song comes from? And then the song plays.
Stephen King's a huge fan of AC/DC.
Yeah, seems like it. Anyways, so in 1986, 40 years ago, you had the option of going to one screen to see Heartburn, or you could have went down the hall to see Maximum Overdrive. So we're going to talk about this other film. I'm going to give you the plot synopsis, the deep plot of this movie after this short intermission break.
Can't we just blow up?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's intermission time. All these delicious treats are waiting for you at the refreshment stand. Delicious fresh popcorn, ice-cold cola, and candy you know and love. They're all ready for you now, so you won't have to miss any of the feature. Come and get them.
And now, on with the show.
Maximum Overdrive is a 1986 American science fiction action horror film. It was both written and directed by Stephen King, and it is his only film that he's ever directed. It stars a litany of people. It has Emilio Estevez and Pat Hingle and other people that you may or may not know. Very famously, it has a few people. We'll get into that later. But the screenplay was loosely inspired by one of his short stories called Trucks. It follows this event in which all machines, mostly kind of focusing on the truck aspect, but it's trucks, radios, arcade games, vending machines, any of those sorts of things. They become automatic when Earth crosses the tail of a comet, initiating a worldwide killing spree. But it is almost exclusively told in this one town, in which Emilio Estevez is a resident, and it is high octane, I guess is what you would say. Diane, what's your thoughts on Maximum Overdrive?
Overdrive.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember the girl who was hitchhiking?
The girl who was hitchhiking.
The hitchhiking with the Bible salesman?
Okay, yeah.
The jacket she had on?
Okay, yeah.
That jacket that she had on that had all the pins down the lapel?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Sort
was
of.
a huge fad back then.
What you thought of the film.
I had a very similar jacket. Mine was black,
Uh-huh.
and I had lapel pins that, from all different kinds of places where I'd been snow skiing or whatever.
So you had
that
Meryl Streep's hair from Heartburn, and then that jacket.
Yes, and then I had that jacket. Now, the one thing I did hate about Heartburn was the clothes. I mean,
it was
not.
awful. It was.
But,
yeah. Okay. We're not talking about Heartburn. But yeah.
But yes, that from Maximum Overdrive, I have to say, I had that jacket in black, and I did have the lapel pins because the lapel pins were big then.
Yeah.
And I still have all those pins. Don't have the jacket, but I have the pins.
Well, that's cool. So like
I
old-fashioned
you'd
pins?
want to know that.
So like old pins?
I'm sorry.
You had old pins?
Well, they're not not necessarily old pin. Lapel pins were big back then.
Uh-huh.
And for work, you wore, the kind of brooches and lapel pins. But for fun play, you just collected pins. Like I went skiing in Virginia, Manassas, and I got a pin from there. This is went from Kristen Buke. Just little lapel pins that you wore, and you wore them down.
Well, I would
sometimes
love to
both
see
sides.
them sometime, Diane, because that actually sounds.
I'll
really
have to
fun.
dig them out.
Yeah.
One even said Diane. So yeah, it was big then. What can I say? Now, Stephen King does have a fascination for clowns. Did you know that?
I'll just be completely frank up front on this thing. I have watched this film.
Well, I did too.
I'm very okay, what am I? It was pretty. It was a pretty straightforward film, but then every time I'd be like, oh, okay, so there's another thing happening. I'm like, I might be a little hazy about certain things. I remember early on.
I can't tell you the plot for sure.
Yeah. Well, I was.
My favorite character was the kid.
Yeah,
he seemed to be the smartest one of all of them.
Yeah, I think. I have 3 notes on this. I have 3 notes, and they're not even sensitive.
You found 3 notes?
I found 3 notes. I put Giancarlo Esposito. As soon as I saw him on screen, I'm like, oh, there's Giancarlo Esposito. I don't think I've ever seen anything of his, or that I remember. I've only seen him like his later career when he was older, like, Breaking Bad and, all the stuff that he's done after that. But like, just a young Giancarlo Esposito. We had young Kevin Spacey, and now we have young Giancarlo Esposito. And it was some of their first works and stuff like that. So yeah, he plays a guy. He goes to the arcade, and things go wrong at the arcade.
Yeah. Now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So that was fun. Other note I had is just,
and arcades like that were big then.
Mm-hmm.
They were huge. There was one across the street. I worked in downtown Tulsa then, and this is before they ripped out the on Main Street. There used to be a big fountain there, and people would sit around it, and the streets was closed off. And
Still a fountain on Main Street, but I don't know.
Fifth and 5th Street. There was Boston, Main. Anyway, now you can drive through there, but before you could not. It was huge. This the whole thing was.
So it's like
but anyway. In one of those shops across from the bank across this, area, was an arcade like that. And I'd go over there and play at lunchtime.
I love. Well, now they're retro
Galaxia.
arcades. Well, yeah, they have Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Galaga.
Galaga was my favorite. I had the high score for a while. But anyway, so yeah, I love arcades.
Well, you could play Galaga on here too. But yes.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be near as good. But
I
anyway,
love Galaga. My mom was a big Galaga fan, so I got to.
well, yeah, that was your mom's not that much younger than me, is she? Well,
I don't know.
yeah, maybe she is.
But she was.
Maybe she is.
I love that stuff. I don't know about this movie. They have a truck. It has a Green Goblin mask on it, which I was like, oh, do they have to get the rights? And yeah, they had to get the rights for that.
And it's a toy. It held toys.
It held toys.
Did you in the scene after they show the first dead guy, right? And the married couple go around and it's like, is he dead or whatever? And then the truck goes after them. Yeah. Did you see the guy jump out of the way of the scene? He wasn't supposed to be on camera at all. Oh my gosh. I was so proud that I caught that. I even went back and watched it again to make sure I caught that. Yeah, it was I don't know if I did my due
diligence. This is probably the one.
I thought you would catch that. It was a pretty big error.
I must admit I was half. I mean, like I said, half watching. I mean, it was. I didn't find it. I mean, it's not great, but it's not like, I don't know. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I mean, it moves along.
Well,
it does the whole thing.
I can see why it has kind of a cult.
Yeah,
a cult following. I can see where this one has a cult following over Evolution having one.
Yeah, I agree. But it's got. I mean, I guess we should talk about AC/DC. I think that's kind of like the most interesting thing about that. This movie has a soundtrack that's made by AC/DC. They made new music for it. This was at a point, I believe, in their career where it was a lull. Like, so this ended up being a resurgence of their career.
One of their biggest hits.
Yeah, and one of their biggest hits came out of this, which is what we were saying at the tail end of that. Is like, so they kept saying throughout this film, like setting it up, which it makes. I'm interested to know which came first. Did they have a script in which it said this? Who made who? And was that part of the script? And then AC/DC was like, we're going to write a song about this. Or did AC/DC say, we have this song that we would like to put out and it's called this? Because it's like, it's so specific. And now knowing this song, like that is insane. That it's about a town full of people telling that to trucks over and over again. Like, that's the meaning behind this song. Is kind of,
you shook me all night long. Hell's bells may do. AC/DC. I was trying to see if it was like, I don't know. The soundtrack was composed entirely by the group AC/DC, King's favorite band, whose album Who Made Who was released as the Maximum Overdrive soundtrack.
There's a few things that it's known for. I mean, yeah, it's known for the AC/DC soundtrack. It's known for, I mean, the fact that it's Stephen King's only directorial efforts. There was a lot of people who it's known, like, there's a joke that, like, essentially the co-director on this piece was cocaine. There was supposedly he was
probably
a lot of cocaine during the time. King has since disowned the film. He described it as a moron movie. So, but he made it. He wrote it and directed it. Similarities I get. I mean, like we already talked about. Yeah, the fact that music was by like these, like, very much of its time. That like you would bring on known bands or, you know, singer songwriters to produce the music for or a soundtrack for the thing. I mean, there's any number of things. Huey Lewis for Back to the Future. I mean, there's any number of these examples. That was the one that is immediately on my head. But there's many examples. But no, I don't. It is what it is, and it. I mean, I think it's an enjoyable movie to have on the background. I thought it started out really strong. I think the bridge sequence is really fun. Like I think, and then where it all goes to. I mean, it does it. I thought that Lisa Simpson did a good job. She was fun in it, but
Oh my God, yeah.
I thought Pat Hingle. I love Pat Hingle. He's just was a great character actor, and I thought he was really fun. And like I think it seemed like a fun shoot that everyone just kind of was able to like I don't know be these little weirdos and
Yeah.
and dial it up to 10. Like it I don't know. To me it's not. To me it's inoffensive. In like I mean it's grotesque. But like in an offensive way. I mean, it's bold and like the 80s sort of like we're doing all the things. And yeah, I mean, yeah, does the monologue that the main female character gives to Emilio Estevez extremely cringe and where she's saying all
Oh
this
my
stuff.
God, yeah.
Is that hard to watch? Yes, it is. It's harder to watch than a whole diner being shot up. Like that's a lot easier to watch. Go ahead.
As a great a writer as Stephen King is, that dialogue sucked.
Oh yeah, which I mean, I guess maybe he's not used to writing like for film in that sense. But like he's done that later. I mean, I don't know if he. I would have to look it up if he had done it before this. But I know that he had did screenplays later, or episodes of TV. But yeah, this one was rough. It was rough. But
I don't know. The one thing I always wondered about what was the inspiration for this movie that all the trucks would turn on people. You notice it was the trucks. So there was it had to be in the 70s. There was it's back when they dropped the speed limit to 55 miles an hour to save gas, and there was a song called Convoy where the truckers line up and wouldn't let anyone pass. And I wondered if this had something to do with it. Is this where he got the idea for this? Not sure.
It was interesting because, like, and to like set it in a town, I guess it's like makes it a little bit more. Because I mean, this is happening all over the world essentially, but you only really focus on this one town of this situation.
Well, it's not even a town; it's a truck stop.
It's a truck stop, yes.
Yeah.
On top of that, yes. And so that was interesting, and it's also not in his typical place either. It's not Maine. It's very clearly in what is it, North Carolina, and everyone's doing these thick Southern accents.
Boy, they were too. They should have been in Alabama.
Yeah.
It's like poor Stephen King. He just finally left Maine and realized it. Oh.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, what was your? I mean, do you have any other notes?
I don't really have anything else to say about that except for if you've had a late night and you come home and this movie is playing, you should watch it.
Yeah. I think it's. I mean, I don't. The way I watched it, I think would be the preferable way. I don't think it's something that's gonna be like, I gotta see it all. I mean, I think it's. It's a good little thing. It's got good music. It's got good sound. Like where it all like it's very visceral. It's very. I mean, it is what it is. It's not doing anything deep. It's not, and it doesn't ever feel like it's trying to do that. Like, it's not like it tried and failed anything. It feels like it did the thing it was trying to do. So I don't know. Like, it's not like it was.
There was blood.
Yeah.
But it could have been a lot gorier.
Yeah.
Too. I
think, well, it could have been a lot more. I assumed, given like how people talked about it and everything, that it was going to be kind of more sadistic, but it's not. It's just it's like, or like the fact that you would think it would be like I don't know, have some more glee or like a disdain for humanity. But I don't know. It's not. I don't feel like it's mean spirited. I think it's not. I don't feel like it's mean spirited. It wasn't.
No, I don't think so either.
Mm-hmm. Which I assumed it was going to be, but it wasn't. So I like that was to me probably it's excessive, but in like a 1980s sort of actiony way. I mean, I don't. So I'm kind of surprised that it got so critically panned. Whenever it's like, I don't know, a lot of movies were like this, but I don't know. This one didn't seem to hold back and I think it was aware of the type of film it was. I don't think it had any sort of disillusions about what it was trying to do and what it did, and so it made the thing and it did it. So I don't know what else more you could want from this. It was weird. Only other note, third note I had on here. Weird to end it on like Russia saving the day. Isn't that the kind of implication of the text on the screen for the time period? Like, now I guess what they were trying to be ironic about, like Star Wars and the sort of space, like, you know, like that sort of.
Well, this was during the Star Wars days, whenever Reagan wanted to spend all that money putting lasers in space to point at the Earth. Yes. And they were sure that Russia was already working on it. So yes. I got that reference. It's like, oh, this is Star Wars.
That's what
the actual lasers.
Yeah. And like, I think it's supposed to be humorous for that reason. But it's also weird to make it where that Russia, like, but unrelated to what your character protagonist did in this story. Outside of that, text come on the screen is like, what they did was, fine, they survived it, but like the what saved the day was this Russian satellite, and it's like, oh, okay, interesting note to end on. But no.
See, we need to have one too.
Yeah.
Let's spend trillions of dollars so we can have one too.
I guess that is what.
Okay, so I found it. I found what I was looking for. There was a 1975, I think. Yeah, 1975 country song called Convoy with C.W. McCall. It was the number one hit. And in 1978, Chris Christopherson was in a movie called Convoy, which is he plays a trucker who leads a massive convoy of truckers in protest against a corrupt sheriff. Okay, so I'm thinking Stephen King saw this and went, oh, I got to write a horror movie about that. I got to write about this.
I mean, it was a lot more part of like the lexicon, truckers and these big semis. Mm-hmm. Like, they're still around, but they're not a part of our culture anymore. But like, you think it's like Smokey and the Bandit and all. I mean, like that, and all. I mean, there was quite a few of them. That was like. I mean, there's these Cannonball Run and stuff like that. I mean, it's that these
all in that time frame.
Mm-hmm. That, I mean, like,
so this kind of was a sequel too.
Yeah. It was interesting. I mean, yeah. I say, yeah. If you enjoy this type of movie, or I mean, I don't think it's. I mean, it's not doing anything intellectual. But then again, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like, again, it wasn't trying to. So I mean, like, it was what it was. And so, I think, whereas, last week, we had two films that were, we had some things with, and some whatever you want to say. And I was really worried about this week, because given like both of these films were panned. I mean, they were. I mean, I think. I mean,
I saw them when they came out. I didn't like them, so yeah. I didn't. For Heartburn, I think what I said was what I didn't like was there was no chemistry between Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I would agree.
In reality, it wasn't believable that they would fall in love.
Yes,
it wasn't. And but the reason Jack Nicholson was cast in that role over Manny Paquin, because he didn't have on-screen chemistry with Meryl Streep. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think Jack Nicholson did, but either way. So Stephen King wrote the short story Trucks in 1978.
So I mean, that's another thing that connects these films is that they were both works that were written by writers who then adapted them into
screenplays.
Into screenplays.
Yeah.
There's another connection, of the situation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you know, I had one. Do you know who the author Walker Percy is? He's in Louisiana. Wrote several books, but he wrote this one book that talks about when the stars align and you have a coincidence occur, that it means something else. Anyway, I won't get into the details about his book because you could go read that if you wanted to. But I was listening to Smartless.
Oh yeah,
the podcast to Timothy Oliphant was the guest. Anyway, they got on a conversation about rum raisin ice cream. And then I watched Heartburn right afterwards, and they were talking about rum raisin ice cream. I was like, wow, I didn't even really know it was an ice cream. And then I heard it in 2 places. So that means something. I'm just not sure what.
Just coincidence. Yeah, I mean, the stars are aligning. A comet's
somehow,
it's going
some way.
to turn all of our machines into evil. That's what that
Our
means.
cars are going to drive all over us.
Yeah, and we're going to... But the real question is who made who? And, that's what we need to screen.
Well, is there alcohol in rum raisin ice cream? That's what I want to know. Anyway, so Stephen King wrote screenwriting credits.
List everything that Stephen King wrote.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I am going to tell you what his screenplays were,
Okay, cool.
that were written by him.
Yes.
Creep Show.
Oh, he did the Creep Show.
Cat's Eye. Silver Bullet. Maximum Overdrive. Pet Cemetery. Graveyard Shift. Misery.
Oh, he wrote Misery.
I wrote the screenplay for it in 1990. Sleepwalkers. The Stand. The Shining.
He didn't write the... Oh, he wrote the... He did write the TV version of The Shining, not the 1980 version of The Shining.
The TV series. Yeah. Storm of the Century, which was also a TV deal.
He wrote an episode of The X-Files. I know that.
Yeah.
He did the one about the doll. Just because I'm a... Did you hear? This is not about this at all. But so Ryan Coogler finished the pilot, supposedly. That's because Ryan Coogler's next project is he's trying to reboot the X-Files. And the word is that it's in the universe of the X-Files. He's not recasting Mulder and Scully, but it's like 2 new people have reopened the X-Files, so leaving the door open that if Mulder and Scully wanted to return in their roles, they could, which is the perfect way to reboot the X-Files. I love the X-Files.
So do you think it would be like a movie or a TV show?
It's a TV show. He's doing a TV show. And so he made a pilot.
See, I don't know. Do you really think that Mueller and Fox would come back for a TV show? These are movie stars now.
They did a reboot of it just 4 years ago or whatever. Now. So, I mean, they've done it in the past. Now, given Scully very clearly said, I'm never going to do it again at the end of the last one. So, Scully did. Not Gillian Anderson, the character of Scully. No, I don't know. I mean, I think that they would. It's if the money's right. I mean, they didn't. I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. I think if it's good and it's a huge success, that's a whole different other story. But if it's like just ends up being like a little TV show sort of thing, I don't know if they necessarily would. I think David would. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Who knows? Right circumstance, anything can happen. Yeah. Did you notice in Maximum Overdrive that Stephen King was in the very first scene?
Yeah, he's the ATM guy.
See, you did watch it.
I did watch it. I certainly did watch the beginning part of it. At the very least. No, I did see him with his little glasses and what did it say, moron?
I love the baseball scene. The baseball field on the baseball field. That was kind of my favorite. Getting little kids mowed down by baseballs. That was pretty cool. At least we got one recommendation out of tonight. Huh?
Watch The Odyssey.
Yeah.
Watch The Studio. There's a few things to watch. I mean, I would
There you
recommend
go.
watching both of these movies. I mean, I think that they got a bad rap, both of them. I think it's I think Heartburn. It's unfair to compare it to their other work, even though I spent a long time comparing it to their other work. I mean, it's natural to do that. It's like with these actors, I mean, and the director and the writer. I mean, like they've all done better things, in my opinion. And
Well, and I think, and I looking at it from a critic's perspective of the time, I mean, they just came off of Silkwood,
yeah,
the same group of people. And so
gosh, isn't that
the
great?
expectations had to be through the roof for these three people to make this next movie.
And then you had Jack.
And you had Jack, although it was almost like he dialed it in,
Yeah. Well,
course,
I mean, I guess he
when-
was just thrown into it. Like, I mean, maybe it was
Yeah.
in preparation of but I don't know.
Well, and it's kind of out of his, not a typical Jack Nicholson type character.
Like I said, he could have rested on some of his Jack Nicholsonisms, but he didn't.
He could have, but he
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, he played it pretty straight.
And
Anyway,
yeah, I don't know, but so I'd recommend all the things. I mean, I wouldn't say
yeah.
push them to the top of your list or anything, but if
No.
they're on, if they're
Yeah.
on, watch them.
Yeah. No, don't push them to the top of your list.
Cool.
We've talked about many other movies and shows tonight that would be much higher on any
Yeah.
list.
Well, cool. That is that. We're going to go to our little ending program where we preview the upcoming attractions for next time on Double Feature Movie Club.
I can't wait.
And now, preview time. When it comes to entertainment, you can't beat a good film. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Let's take a look at what's coming your way. Well, we are moving from 1986 to 2006, jumping forward 20 years. To two things that are celebrating their 20th anniversary, which is the movie Little Miss Sunshine and
Aww.
the 2006 reboot of Miami Vice.
Oh,
You could
my
have went
goodness.
to one thing and saw Little Miss Sunshine, or you could have went to see Miami Vice. Now I'm about to drop some news. I have never seen Little Miss Sunshine. It is one of those ones that's been at the top of my list to see for a long period of time, and I've never seen it, and I've heard nothing but great things, and this was just an excuse to watch that. So
Did you see Miami Vice? The
I
movie?
did not. I have memories of my father having like rented it from Blockbuster or something, and so as a kid I remember vaguely some things from Miami Vice, but not really. No, I wasn't really watching it. My father was watching it, so but it's some vague memories of it. There's something with cars. And
Okie dokie.
Jimmy Fox.
So you definitely have you didn't see the TV series.
I have seen bits of the TV series. Even though that's kind of a weird thing because just of a fan of like those 80s things, but like not all the way through or different. I think of like the infamous them driving through town with the In the Air Tonight playing, and I'm familiar with the iconography. I love Don Johnson's look in that. Oh, with the white suit and the t-shirt, like that's such a I don't know. There's very few people who've ever looked cooler than Don Johnson in Miami Vice, in my opinion.
True. That's really true. One of the things that was really interesting about Miami Vice, Edward James Olmos.
Yeah.
This was kind of his breakout role, was in this TV series.
Mm-hmm.
Then you started seeing him in a lot of other stuff, but this was like the first time, he became publicly aware of who he was.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of, it's an interesting one. And like, Michael Mann, who directed this reboot, was an executive producer of it. Like, he kind of started his career back whenever in the TV thing, and then he later had this huge film career. Big Michael Mann fan, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to watch this version of Miami Vice. It's one of those ones that's also like, it was polarizing at the time, but it's another one that has since become a cult favorite. I think a lot of it has to do with Michael Mann, and like he's someone who's routinely kind of been. I mean, he's obviously had huge hits. I mean, I'm not taking that away from him.
Yeah, starting to say, yeah.
he was well about, but like I think of even like in 1986, Manhunter was like another one that was like at the time like had different things, and it's like continue to be really reevaluated. And so he's one of those people that sometimes it's huge, and then other times not.
The reality is we're staying in 1986 if we're watching Miami Vice.
Well, we'll see.
Right?
See how it goes. Yeah. I mean, I think it's I think it's contemporary. I'm pretty certain it's set in contemporary times, but it's, but yeah. I'm interested to see how he does Heat 2, because he's in the middle of production or pre-production for Heat 2. And that's interesting if you've been following some of the casting and stuff that's been going on there.
I am not.
It's interesting. Because there's all sorts of rumors, and the trades are saying different things, and like who's playing younger versions of what characters, and like I'm as soon as I'm waiting for what the actual official announcement is, because it seems like it's like a lot of people in talks and a lot of big names, and so we'll see how it all ends up. Well, that's Double Feature Movie Club. We are more than halfway done with this season, so I was supposed to announce that during the intermission that we were halfway done, but now we're more than halfway done. So that's that. We will be back for that 4th episode, and then we have a special idea for the 5th episode, but you'll have to wait till next time to see what we have up our sleeves for that one.
I can't wait to find out.
Should be a fun time, but I've enjoyed this little relaxed season. Playing it fast and loose, and it's different. Like, these are not films we would typically talk about here on the show. So, it's been like some high highs and some low lows, and I don't know.
I doubt anyone is going to click on the hashtag that says, Maximum Overdrive to find out what our review of it is. They might. Who knows?
I would say that less people probably click on Heartburn than the Maximum Overdrive. I think it there's.
Can you put a hashtag out there that says Tomes as well, and maybe.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do all the stuff. Well,
what
should they do?
And by the way, everybody needs to click, like.
Yes, like, subscribe,
share, subscribe.
5 stars.
All the buttons. Leave a comment or two.
Write us a review.
No, but I just wanted to see if anyone has noticed that Cade has been wearing the same shirt now for 3 weeks.
You weren't supposed to mention it, Diane.
I just can't wait to see if you're going to come back.
Hey, we're going to say that this was intentional. Did you notice that Diane wore a different shirt every time?
Yes, I do. But they're always blue.
Yeah.
Because that's our color scheme.
Yeah, it was our color scheme. The first time I did it, because it was 4th of July, and I was like, we're going to wear blue. And then I very much unintentionally wore the same shirt last time. And I said, I'm just going to wear the same shirt this whole season and make it seem like it was intentional. And so, I mean.
That we did all of these on the same day.
Yeah, it makes it seem like we did it all the same day.
Maybe Netflix will pick us. Netflix will pick us up.
Yeah, but it does match. It's very it is the colors.
It goes with the color scheme. Yeah. See, I did the same with the blue. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I have more than one blue shirt.
In my eyes, I don't know if it's because of the shirt. It makes them look more blue than they are.
Are your eyes blue?
They're greenish.
You're so tall, Cade. I don't know that I've ever actually looked in your eyes.
Yeah,
because you're like 1.5 feet taller than me, so This is for all the people
As
who
a
don't know.
kid, they were more blue.
Cade is like 6'7". I mean, it's incredibly tall. I don't know how tall he is.
Tall.
He's up there.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I'm
up there.
6'2", 6'3", somewhere around.
I would think you're taller
I just say
than that.
6'2" is what I say.
Well, you know, here's the deal. You are going to get shorter. I used to be 5'5".
Yeah,
Now I'm 5'3".
look forward to
It does
that.
happen. Yeah, your spinal column starts collapsing. You really don't look forward to that one because it's very painful. Trust me.
Painful. I try to. I need to stand up more straight, but I don't, which I think is going to cause some more issues.
Yeah.
I think I could be 6'3"
whatever. I
if
don't know.
stood up straight, but I just I don't need to be.
Yeah,
taller.
I think you're 6'4" when you're not standing up straight. I don't know. I just know you're a lot taller than me, and there it is.
There it is. Well,
And
I'm glad we ended
and
on
you're
that.
taller than Alex, even, aren't you? You're taller.
I think
than
Alex might be a
too,
little bit
aren't
like an inch taller than me, or we're
you? Well,
roughly the
it's
same.
his hair. It's that hair.
Mm-hmm.
It does that.
It's the lifts that he wears everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's the lifts. It's the lifts. Okay.
Cool,
With
that's
that,
the show.
that's the show.
That's the show. This was going to be a shorter one, but we ended up going down a lot of avenues. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I mean, the movies were what they were, and this has been the show. So okay, join us next week. Watch Little Miss Sunshine, and if you haven't already, and Miami Vice, and you can join in on the conversation and fun, and see if we all agree or not. That's the show. That's how it happens. I don't know. Do I end these in some sort of way? Bye. Bye.